Have you guys ever felt like you didn't know enough as humans, and you just didn't have sufficient information to just, to live? Well, Albert Einstein said if we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it? And first I'd like to talk to you what he means by his quote, and then I'd like to tell you how it applies to us as students, and finally I'd like to give you a personal experience of how this applies to me. He says, if we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it? Well, I think what he's saying is that as humans, we're born with, we don't really know anything, and we acquire things, and one of those ways that we learn is through research. Albert Einstein, being a scientist, probably had to do a lot of research that, taught him what he knew and how to apply it in the world of science. As students, we all have to acquire information somehow, and one of the best ways to do it is through research. And a lot of us do it through various ways, like reading books, encyclopedias, and the internet, especially. With like this class, we've been doing some research. But and a personal experience that I'd like to share is that in high school, I was expected to do a huge project that I had no idea what I was supposed to do. The teacher just assigned it to you, and you had to just go on your own and learn what the project was presented. And mine was about the ocean and how things like the ecosystem of the ocean, oceanography type stuff. And I had no idea. Had I not done research, I wouldn't have known anything. I wouldn't have learned. And so Albert Einstein's quote applied to my life, and I'm sure it does to yours as well. So in conclusion, I agree with Albert Einstein saying that if we knew what we were doing, it wouldn't be called research, would it? And that's it.
Don't give it back to me. All right, the rhetorical question in the opening was fine, and I thought you did a pretty good job transitioning to the topic. You had a very solid preview of the structure of the speech, and it's well organized while you're giving your presentation. I think some of the supporting material needs a little bit of development. You need some details to make it a little more interesting. The presentation, your vocal presentation, it's calm and deliberate. You could probably use a little bit more energy, but there's nothing problematic about it. I thought your gestures were actually pretty solid. You seemed to be involved. You had some nice descriptive gestures and several indicators. Early on it got a little repetitive, but I think you seemed to detect that because they became more subdued later on in the presentation. Your audience contact, you look like you're looking at the audience, but it often looks like you're just looking out over the audience and not engaging people in a one-on-one basis, and so that's a little problematic. Looking up is a good thing, but engaging people is definitely something that you want to do more of, and you're kind of looking out while you're talking in the direction of the audience rather than engaging people, and that's what you need to do. The conclusion was okay, except for the "that's it" that you used at the period at the end of the sentence there. That was probably unnecessary. Tommy, if you would, come get a topic and send Joseph in.